Okay, what's up, everybody? This is VOD reviewing Riko Wagner. Let's see what we got. Okay, so against Kuon, generally, as the infighter, you got to get through laser, you got to get through wheel, and then once you get in, should be basically game over. You only really have to think about 2-3-6 and 2B from Kuon on defense. Bait flash kick a little bit, do some gapless lows. So let's see what happens. Okay, this is already kind of a big risk at round start. So this is a 2-3-6 call out that I think also covers 6-6B. Um, but I think in a versus 2 setting, obviously you play this player a lot, so maybe you know how they play more than I do. But this seems like kind of a big risk. It's pretty safe to just seed round start to Kuon. You can backdash and take a buff if you want. Kuon has a pretty hard time dealing with backdash at round start. Um, but honestly, I would just say dash block and play around how the Kuon does stuff. Um, yeah, anytime you see like high float laser or Kuon in this space at all, actually. Where's the... Yeah, I want the 5-second one. Like this spacing is where 6FF is like, where dash FF is super good. It covers exactly, my cursor isn't on my stream, fantastic. Well, it covers the space up and in front of Wagner. We go into uni. It's going to cover exactly that kind of dead zone that she's had previously. This button is insane. And it's going to be one of your main neutral tools versus Kuon in the air. Very good. Very useful. Also, if he ever whiffs flow laser like this, like he just dies. As Kuon, if you whiff anything in the air, you basically die on the spot. Pressing backdash as Wagner doesn't really net you very much. If you cede the space to Kuon, then that means he can zone you more, which you don't want. So I would recommend not backdashing in this matchup almost ever. Backdash with this character is kind of weird. Now, if you're a Guilty Gear player previously or come from games with good backdashes, that can be kind of weird. But this Uni generally is not a backdashing game unless you have a really good backdash like Akatsuki or Gordo or Ogre or something like that. Okay, this I have to assume was a 6-6C, but what were you scouting with this 6-6C? You're trying to catch a walk back. That 6-6C was well placed. Nice, good awareness. FF does kill that. Okay, so let's talk about offense. This spacing is pretty good because you're just maybe like one step closer. You're at tip 5A range. And tip 5A range is where Kuon does not really enjoy things very much. So here, great, love this. But you have to be ready, especially, I say this because this is someone presumably that you play often. -1 against 8-frame moves, your only option is 5B in order to trade. And in this spot, I don't even know if the trade is good. Now, if we go back, I don't think 5B is actually going to hit. Come on, YouTube. You can frame by frame me. Yeah, so 5B is probably just maybe going to hit here, and it's going to trade for you. Against players who recognize Wagner rebeats, -1 into Assault JC against Kuon, whose main mash option is going to be either 2-3-6A or 2B, is your friend. Assault JC is very good, especially once your opponent is in the corner. It is not neutral, but it is offense. So you get mashed on whatever they drop their confirm. Okay, nice. This was good recognition from you. Where if we go to zoom me quickly, I think you might have died to float laser there. It's going to be kind of hard for me to recreate this situation. I don't know why Mizumi doesn't like loading for me. But 5U is the right option. So good job there. You dropped confirm, but it's whatever. You can get that next time. Okay, your combos are kind of bad, but you can fix that later. Yeah, this is... I don't know where people got the idea that like ending with unbuffed T2C backdash creates a good situation, because it kind of doesn't. And now you're just down 100 meter. That means you can't kill someone with throw later. Because if you have 200 meter, it's guaranteed throw lethal here. I think this is throw lethal anyways, because you have the cycle coming up. Throw CVO 35-56. And instead you make this kind of ambiguous thing versus air forward tech. I don't think this is very stable. What was your spacing on this walk back? I can see the idea because you're trying to whiff punish the 2v, but Kuon 2v is kind of huge. You should die here. You should lose to 2v 100%. But it's okay. You clean it up. Okay, so now, Kuon with meter. You can also send a 6-6C or a 6-6FF and it only loses to 6-6B from Kuon. This is, if you're going to do this, I think you need to slight delay it so that you give yourself the opportunity to see him throw the laser. Because if he doesn't throw the laser, how fast is this move? 8. So it'll cover 6-6B round start as well, which is kind of nice. Yeah, this is where Kuon is a flash kick character with a goated 2C. So like trying to approach from the air like this, I would really... Wagner operates the best when she's on the ground. The only time, in my opinion, that she's good in the air is when you have meter and where you can do like whiff dive 2-4C or something like that. But I would really try to focus all of your approaches from the ground. Because yeah, Kuon has a crazy 2C. Okay, this guy's combos kind of suck, but whatever. So that was nice. Where you showed the rebeat immediately. You know, you've conditioned your opponent to wait for the rebeat a little bit after, and when you play that a little bit faster, it forces them to really be on point. You check them, they're not coming up. So that's good. Oh, ST combos. Yeah, so this is fine. This is absolutely fine. And you say, look at the cycle. I'm going to win this cycle. Even if you flash kick me, I don't care. I'm still going to have the life lead. I'm going to have cycle. You lose your install, but that's not the end of the world. So you get flash kicked. Now what happens after? Okay, you gotta wait a little bit there. And again, this backdash. I don't know if you come from games where backdash is good, but Wagner backdash for that is not particularly good. You're also, this idea works if you have shield install, where you can kind of bulldoze your way in, but you don't have install, and this is full screen, so this is never going to hit unless you like whiff cancel into 2-4C or something to cover yourself. But you have, I mean, I guess you're slightly down in the life lead, but you can kill him in one touch and one throw. So you don't need to play this fast, I think. Yeah, you just get whiff punished. You don't die here, which is nice. Oh, bad confirm too. Yeah, nice. You block on plus. I've got to hold a mix, but it's okay. The mix is kind of bad now. Yeah, you just block it out. Let him float into you. You're going to get Celestial here. Yeah, these are Omega Salaryman ST confirms. Okay, this was this actually... Oh, they didn't have flash kick charge, so yeah, this is fine to send. Oh, you call it the throw, but yeah, I think you can actually slow play this situation way more. Where yes, you're down in life, but you die. The only way that you lose this is if you get like mashed out on or reversaled. And you have a lot of resources to work with, so you can like really pressure the situation. I think if you play this a little bit more slowly, you're probably fine. But this is fine. It's a gamble for the flash kick character. It just kind of happens. Yeah, you just kind of get clipped by float laser. It happens. That move's busted. Yeah, a little bit of lack of patience there. Could have been a dash block miss as well. Okay, nice block. Check on the whiff throw. Oh, 5-0 is the right idea. Oh, so you have some good confirms. Let's go. This ender though I don't like. Where if you're gonna do this ender to burn meter, uh, they have to be really low for you to not forward tech. Which is why generally doing routes that end in like C drill, sorry, C dive 5B smarts your ender lets you get the damage and a knockdown, and then you're chilling. Because now you're in a spot where you have throw lethal, but you're not in range to throw them. So we're bulldozing our way in. This, I have to look again to see if they had flash kick charge. They did not have flash kick charge, so you were fine. Okay, nice bait. I don't know what that was, but thanks, Ankle, for getting this to me. Did you just get backdashed? Yeah, you did just get backdashed. I think in this situation, I think it's possible if you're playing well to like dash and then confirm if they've round start backdashed or not if you're gonna 6 But this should just kind of happen, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Nice. This is good recognition from you that if he floats here, he cannot safe jump you. Kuan has like two very specific spots where he can safe jump. So good recognition there. He should win the cycle. Let's just take the knockdown. Okay, I'm just gonna have to mute this then. Okay, clean. You're playing this well. You're not overforcing too much. Okay, now we're overforcing a little bit, but you're checking them, which is good. I mean, this review is mostly for versus VAT, but I'm gonna watch the other games too to kind of get a feel of how you play. Yeah, that convert's not the end of the world. Yeah, again, you have this kind of over reliance on backdash. I'm gonna say this as if I don't also backdash too much. I don't know why I think backdash is good sometimes, but generally every time I think that it's actually not. So this is definitely a do as I say, not as I do moment where just kind of unbind backdash from your mind playing this character. Okay, I like this. We're patient. We don't need to overforce. Check the plus frames because he can't really do anything from there. That was a spot where 6/6FF here too is a spot where that can really shore up your neutral in these situations. But you're winning the cycle. You're chilling. Life is good. Well, you're kind of nasty with it. That's a hard moment to confirm. I don't blame you for dropping that. The day one side swaps. I have to see where this wheel is. I think you could have sent an ADP here. Oh no, the wheel's a little bit too close to you. But that's actually a spot where you can check Kuon when he does this. If he doesn't if he does the EX wheel and he doesn't walk back enough before the 6/6C, like that's not enough. Um this actually isn't gonna meet you. You can wake up dash block throw to check Kuon here if you want. Because you saw when you CS you weren't well one you let you CS because you weren't getting hit by the wheel. Yeah, you just kind of lose out in the scramble, which is fine. It happens. No, it's the hit before this. Yeah, or it just kind of drops. Yeah, they just don't do an ender. Just a little bit of sleep at the wheel, but that's all right. You expect your opponent to be good and finish their combos. We've all been there. Oh, okay. So you know about the 6-6 FF and the spot where every Wagner player knows about 6-6 FF, which is round start. But those neutral spots that I mentioned before to cover the space above you, especially if Kuon likes the Kuon that you're playing likes to go into the air, then you're good. You're good to consider using that a little bit. You're gonna have to play around with it and find the spots where it's good or not. This CS I think is kind of wasteful. Like obviously it's the I'm just gonna wake up on CS because it's good. But like there's no way for you to gain anything from this situation. He's not close enough to you where you can get a reversal. You don't have meter to blow through seeing needle or anything like that. This is just kind of a waste of CS, but I understand why you're just mashing it on wake up. I do the same thing too sometimes. Yeah, that's part of why the older routing isn't as reliable. Okay, so you do use it a little bit, but it's more useful when the opponent's in the air. Okay, I'm gonna show you something here, which is that you had lethal here because this confirm does a lot of damage. I need to get hit. You actually won the game here when you got this. Obviously, there's a little bit of variance for distance inspiration and things like that. But yeah, you actually just won this round on the spot. Um, but your combo was bad, so you didn't. I'm not sure what they were. This I don't mind. You actually have the install this time, which is good. So there is a threat here. Um, you can actually still get flash kicked out of this if they do the like whiffed C flash kick cancel. Like nobody does that, so that's fine. Nice, actually punishing the whiff laser this time. Yeah, this is greedy if you don't confirm it and you get punished for it. You're just gonna die here. Oh, you actually didn't. I'm amazed. Okay, you're a beast. Okay, so this spot. Now I need to block again. I have a 0 on block. You can police half the cast just by doing this. Because your 7 frame 5B will check like half the cast in that position. And exactly would have killed his 2B mesh as well. It's a very useful tool to play around. Oh, you missed your reversal. It sucks. Now you have to guess. Now you have to guess again. Nice patience. Oh, B throw again. Okay, you kind of get out lucky here. Here you can smash 6B here and like you lose to backdash 236A. You can send 66C here. You can actually honestly this is a not bad spot to send like 236A 22C because you have the meter to burn and just guarantee force your turn. Well, you send the 6B in life is good. Oh, you're actually crazy. That's kind of insane. Oh, this is ankle scrolling through for me. God bless. Okay, so I think this is the real meat and potatoes. Yeah, it's you versus Vat. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of important things in Wagner versus Vat. Let me get this guy on Vat. Okay, so in Wagner versus Vat, a couple of very important things are going to happen. Block. This move is -2. Anytime Batista is -2, you can press 6B. Because the only thing that Batista can do when she's -2 is either 2B or 5A. There's going to be 2 spots where Batista is -2. it's going to be off 5B, and it's going to be off FF. Those are spots where, like, if the Batista player is showing you 5B no cancel, because it's her best place to no cancel, you're going to start smashing 6B. The other thing that you're going to need to keep in mind is that 66FF is not going to check Batista like this. So if you run into this situation, if you get directly underneath her, then come on. Seadrill has to move forward. So if Batista does this, if you get directly underneath her, or even ideally you get slightly behind her, she's just dead. If you have install already, let's get install and have her jump. You get 2-2C. If she spends the meter on Seadrill, then she's going to whiff because you're underneath her, and life is good. The other thing to keep in mind generally versus VAT is that you as a character have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 really good lows. So if she's playing around Flash Kick OS, you just do this. You know, you're -1. And if at any point during that she inputs Flash Kick OS, let me see if I can get a really clean one. No, even I normally only get 2 frames. Even if she only stands up for 1 frame for inputting Flash Kick OS, you still kill her. So like gapless lows should be what you go to as soon as like you show stagger pressure and you get Flash Kick through. And then after that, you have gapless lows to kill the Flash Kick OS. And then if they keep just trying to Flash Kick OS, then you keep doing gapless lows. And if they let you start running offense, then you start running offense, and then you start playing the game. So let's see how this goes. Oh, I guess another thing is that Roundstar versus VAT likes to go in the air. I think in this version, VAT should probably wait and see what happens most of the time. But I think like dash block or checking with 660 or 66FF is okay. Obviously, she has some counterplay to it, but it's generally like kind of advisable. Yeah, and then this spot where exactly this happens, where they up back and you clip them with 66FF, you can air unblockable them with 214A, I think. Let me just set up the situation again. Sorry, with 214B. I think my recording might not be blocking at that point. Yeah. But you can confirm that they've blocked this and then send 214B and you get the air unblockable. It doesn't lead to a ton of damage. Like if you have meter, you can at least cash out a little bit. That's something to keep in mind if you do catch that up backing with 66FF. You can also confirm in a 236B. But I still have to... I need some better routing for the situation. And you have to react pretty quick. But that will also air unblockable her. But you need meter or resources. So generally that's not going to come up as often. But 236B is a better anti-air than people give it credit for. But it is kind of hard to use. So you get exactly that. Jumping against Batista, I shouldn't need to tell you how scary this is. In this case, you're fine because this Batista does not have Flash Kick charge. But given by how you play, I'm going to assume that you're not paying attention to when charge characters have Flash Kick charge or not, and you're just kind of playing your game plan from your perspective. So this is a jump that you can get away with, but if the Batista player just starts holding down as soon as they get air unblockable, then you should just die there for jumping at her. And yeah, that's the other thing is that like charge moves in strings that move you towards Batista should just get flash kicked for free every time. Yeah, this is exactly the spot that I mentioned before. Where here, if instead of full send, if you had dashed underneath, the only thing she can come down with is air, was Adril or JC, both of which will lose to DP. Okay, this is the situation that will come up a lot. Is how do people react to A ball? You've got what you did, which is shield it, where if you stand shield, you can get checked by 2C. If you low shield, you can check by JB or even JC here, but JB, if you hit the slight delay, hits a little bit faster. Um, so yeah, sometimes you pick the wrong option and you die. It's fine. Okay, what kind of Oki does this Vat do? Okay, just the safe debt. Oh, they. Why did you not get flash kicked? You should have got flash kicked here, and I think you were surprised that you didn't get flash kicked. But also, it's useful to have the mentality that if you're dead here, you should just input the hit confirm, because if they mess up, then you still get your confirm. Even though I agree, you should have been dead here. Okay, you're somehow winning grid, smashing backdash a bunch, which is interesting. Um, so like, let's look at the sequence. You dash forward, and then you dash back. So essentially, you've gone from being full screen to being full screen, which doesn't really accomplish very much. Which is why I think this habit of backdashing a lot of neutral is not actually doing you any favors. Because you instead could have been in the exact same situation, but you had a buff, or you had two buffs, or you had more space. And instead, you kind of threw away everything that you had worked for in those 4 seconds. Yeah, and then you're just missing dash blocks, and that's kind of how it goes. Your dash blocks have to be clean against that. Yeah, I see what you were going for. Either one of two things happened here. Either you missed your dash, or you thought that a ball was coming. You can't really preemptively check that with projectile deletion. You either have to know before that it's going to work or not, or react. Sorry, you kind of can't do this middle ground. If this was a 6-6 FF, this also I think would have lost. Let me look at the spacing again. Oh, 6-6 FF here actually would have been fine unless she did air assault flip flop, in which case your 6 FF would have whiffed and you would have died to Adriel. Because Batista's fun. Okay, this Oki isn't super scary. Nice check. In this kind of spot where you like accidentally get 236B instead of 6B, this happens to me too sometimes. I just spend on C drill and stabilize a little bit from there. The damage is worth it. You gain infinite meter in this game. Spending meter to stabilize a random situation like this is definitely worth it. Yeah, charge moves and strings again are kind of dicey against Vat. Yeah, there's one spot where you should be thinking about 2 and 4C, and it is this situation. Blocking. Okay, just this situation here, where the Vat does B-ball, does like 5cc B-ball. Now I'm gonna show you something kind of unfortunate, which is that Vat is not guaranteed to die here. Okay, so that time was fast enough. But Vat can also, here's where things get really fun. I'm bad at this buffer. Let me see if I can get it. Come on. Yeah, well, either way, she can cancel B-ball into C-drill. So you can get outplayed there, but it's on the Batista player to be good. So like that is the spot where you can think about 2 and 4C. 2 and 4C in neutral, she has too much movement. It's not stable enough. Okay, so I guess here is the other question: is that like from what I've seen so far, you don't really have like a game plan in this matchup. You're just kind of doing things and hoping that they work. Which, if you haven't given this matchup much thought, is understandable. Um, so let's think about what is your win condition as Wagner generally. Your win condition as Wagner generally is to get the opponent into this position where you have sword buff, and ideally, you've won the cycle. So like this is the win condition. The reason that this is the win condition is because this. Which is that your throw does 3.5. This is also your win condition because of this. So even though that whiffed, that will catch some people mashing. This also gives you this situation, which we went over before. Okay, so now the win condition has been identified. How do we get here? Because Vat, Vat is gonna she's gonna do a bunch of stuff. So there's two ways that we can get in. We can get in by being patient and dash blocking. We can get in by bullying our way in with shield install, sorry. Or we can get our way in with jump drill. Jump drill is not super advisable because of flash kick. So if being in the air is not super advisable because our air stall doesn't actually cover flash kick, then we have to stay on the ground. Now, if Batista is here, she's not going to walk back. So we can't catch her with 6-6C or things like that. So at that point, we just got to get her to block normals. And stuff like that. So that should be your general game plan in this matchup. Is that the way you win neutral is by taking space, because once you're at close range, your normals are more useful than Batista's. The only thing that you really have to worry about is flash kick, for the most part. So once you're in and life is good. So now my other question is, what do you get if this 236A hits? At any time you have to like reevaluate a matchup or your approach, you also have to be critical of your own decisions. If this 236A is blocked, you're -5. You get flash kicked. If it whiffs, and they didn't do B-ball, you can get falling JC'd. This is a play slow and patient on the ground matchup, or play slow and patient on the ground matchup enough to try to get shield, and then charge your way in. I would advise against the second and play the slower dash blocking game. This is a knowledge check that you should not allow Batista to do. 660 A ball should die 100% of the time because it didn't record. You do that correctly. Because you don't have to stand up to input throw anymore. The reason why this worked in previous versions is that before, if you were crouching and pressed throw, you got shield. So in order to throw her, you had to stand up. And if you had to stand up, that means she could cancel into a low to kill you for standing up. Now you don't have to do that. So anytime you block 6-6C from Batista, there's no reason for you to not press throw. She can't frame trap you off anything. The only thing she can do is A-ball. She can't put a gap in B-ball. It's very, very difficult for her to frame trap with like 6-6C, super delayed force function, which people just kind of aren't going to do. Instead, they're going to use the 6-6C to bully their way in. They're going to use the 6-6C they're going to use the 6-6C to bully their way in, press FF, and then it's party time. They're going to do that. Let's keep going. Okay, let's talk about gem on block. Let's talk about gem set on block. Batista has 1 point in which she is allowed to gem set on block, and it's from 2C, which is -6. Which means that if you're never going to guess this, you as Wagner press 6B, you're probably going to win the situation. Because she's -6 with a 6 frame 5A. You get to 6B, you get to dash 5B, you get to 6-6C. You should be challenging 2C gem set on block. Every other gem set on block is going to be more negative. If you see gem set on block, you should be doing something. Let's see what this punish was. Oh, you punished it with 6-6C. So now I can already hear you. You're gonna say, "But Ash, I backdashed, and I whiff punished something because I backdashed." It's like, yeah, you did this time. I'll give you that. That's a hard route. I also think you might need Vorpal for that confirm, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it again. This is non-neutral. If you want to skip neutral with this character, you do that. But also, I don't think you should be skipping neutral with this character because this character's neutral isn't that bad. Okay, what did you get hit doing? You block the ball. Oh, and you try and check the landing and you get 2 seed. That's fair. That happens. 50-50? Yeah, and you're a good player and you know about Beedrill, which means you get hit by 2C. I love when I get to hit people with 2C there. Yeah, all of your round start ideas lose to Batista waiting and doing nothing and then flash kicking. So you're getting away with them because I think this Batista is also approaching things incorrectly. You got to work with what you got. Oh, that was a weird hit. Oh, nice drill. Yeah, sometimes you just got to take the CS flash kick and it's not the end of the world. Nice. Nope. This is not projectile invuln on frame 1, so you actually have to block the laser. Hope you remember that for next time. And you can't FF there because FF deletes projectiles on frame 3. So if the laser is meaty, which it should be there, you gotta block and then do something after. Okay, this 6-6B is to check your round start options. This is to check 6-6FF and 6-6C. Oh, interesting. So your response to seeing A ball here is to instead try and kill the A ball and go through, which is not a bad idea. But you also don't have to think that much. Okay, your punish is not bad. I like that. Okay, this is a player psychology thing. Is that generally speaking, most players if they whiff throw like here and look stupid, their ego will make it so that they don't press throw again immediately after. Most people, instead, their panic option will be like shield or roll or just block or something like that. Most people are not going to then press throw again. Some people will, but generally speaking, most people aren't going to do that. So you then throw baiting against Batista with down charge is an interesting decision to say the least. Okay, this is again. This is the you're fucked and you have to deal with me zone. This is the win condition. Why are we leaving the win condition? We've decided, you know what? Our winning game state isn't. We don't need that anymore. We're just going to enter a less winning game state instead. Oh, come on. You got it at the gem there. This confirm is hard. You had the right idea, but it's just hard. I'm not going to tell you it's not hard. Also, just so you're aware, you should not be taking whatever this is going to be. You should be taking 4K here. This should be a flash kick, C drill into 4K, into you're on this much HP, into panic. This is just a bad decision to approach in the air against Batista like this. You're instead going to take like less than 3K and get out alive. Oh no, you take 3K for it. It's fine. It's whatever. Okay, they don't really threaten anything. I'm not sure in that instance what you're setting FF on. A ball is slow enough that you can reaction FF it there. And B ball you're just kind of not going to worry about. So I'm not sure why you're pressing FF there. You're not really going to gain anything in a situation that you press FF there for. Okay, this is an interesting situation. This CS here, I think that the correct punish here is up forward. Is like up forward J236A. Because 2C takes a while to approach. Now, I could be wrong. But if I was you, I would either do nothing, which is correct, or I would up forward. And maybe if I up forward, I can get a punish here. You do nothing, which is very fair. Okay, so we've baited CS. What are we doing? We're a 5-framer versus Batista with 5-frame A flash kick that's huge. If I was you in this spot, I would ADP. Because ADP will trade with A flash kick, and you got to confirm and you win the game. I think. I might have to double check that. Actually, I guess I can double check that because I have Uni open. Let me double check that and see if I'm actively spreading misinformation here. Okay, it's like here. Okay, let's give that CS. Oh, come on. Oh my god, why can't I input a DP here? I think I might have been 1 frame late there. Okay, maybe it doesn't. Maybe you have to be right on top to get this trade. Like this trade is fine. Okay, so it doesn't trade in your favor, which is fine. But with that in mind, B flash kick, you lose but you don't die. A flash kick, you lose and you die. And that's really, if Batista presses 5A and you press 5A, you win. So if you press 5A in this spot, you lose to 2 options. But you win against 1. I would probably block here. But you press 5A and you're a beast. Oh, because she tries to 2B? No. You don't get to 2B there. Maybe it was 2-8. Either way, you're a beast and you play the situation correctly. Because also, sometimes you just have to press 5A, and if you lose, it doesn't mean you made a bad decision. Pressing 5A there is still good. This must be a player read thing because this again, like it's just not stable. Like you win the situation, uh, but if she does nothing, then you just get flash kicked. Yeah, now and now it's just scrambles against VAT where you're not as comfortable. Oh, nice, they have those. Did they get the? They did not get the good jet. Oh, because they didn't delay it. Yeah, this mix is fake because they didn't get the outer gem debt here, which means that this is not gapless. You can reversal this because they didn't do it correctly. But kudos on them for going for it. That situation against crouching Batista with chain shift, uh, you just kind of got a gap and it's hard. I don't blame you for it. It's probably like one of the hardest positions on offense in the game. Oh, you tried to skip playing the game by pressing 2 and 4C. That button is not. That's not what that button is for. Okay, nice check. Do you have a ground mount save? You do? Okay, but we're not getting punished for being wrong. Yeah, I don't. Oh my god, we went all the way back to the beginning. Where were we? I don't even remember where we were. Yeah, we were like here because you pressed 5A and you were a beast and you won the round. Let's actually go back to the start of this. Oh, this was this? No, no, no. This is the round after them that I want. Yeah, this is where we were. I don't know how that just skipped to the beginning of the VOD, but whatever. Yeah, two one four C here. It's just not what it's there for. Yeah, here we go. Nice check. You get the ground bound save. This meter spend here, like the knockdown here is not good. I don't know why. Like if you learn the game from watching like clear VODs, I can understand why you would do things like this, but like the situation here afterwards is not very good. So let me instead. Okay, ground bounce save reaches the corner. I want to spend meter. What am I gonna do? Oh my god. I think you should do that instead. That gives you a knockdown. Life is good. You get a set situation to play from instead of this like weird air tech scramble that happens afterwards when this happens. It's just not as stable. Yeah, okay, nice, nice. Okay, but now I think the other thing that can help with your approach is that there are Batista has situations where it's like it's like red light, green light. So if we go back to the beginning of this, okay, so we're in neutral. Okay, she has ball on the screen and has air actions. Can I full send? No. And you can kind of break it down like that, where there are situations where you can full send. Where did I block laser? Yes. The only thing Batista can do is if they have a partition, another laser or a ball or a C laser, all of which will lose to 2 and 4C. Like those are spots when you can think about 2 and 4C. Okay, now you got to not get drilled, and you jumped, but it meant that you didn't get drilled. like here. This is exactly the spot right here. This is where 2-4C actually just wins you the game on the spot if they don't know how to do 2-4C counterplay after people. Instead, you get like some weird trade, and now we're trying to force. And now you should die. Oh, you didn't die. Okay, now we've got a weird scramble again, and you should die again. Oh, what are you jumping for? I mean, that's just look at the screen scramble, and that's just kind of how it goes. But from there, that should be enough to get you started in a game plan against VAT, and then once you have more information from there, uh, you can make some better decisions. But like right now, you need a game plan, and I think I've gone through enough to give you a game plan in that kind of situation. Let's see you versus Sella. Oh my god, why does Sella not play like this against me? Is it because I don't just throw the game around start? Oh my god, look at Sella. Sella's doing okay now. Sella stopped doing things. Oh, but he's checking the dash. Bro, where's this Sella when I play this matchup with him? I know it's supposed to be VOD reviewing for you, Riko, but I gotta give some credit where it's due. Okay, so we lose the game because we're not playing the game on the ground. Wagner versus Eltnum, your game plan is play the game on the ground. You get in. When you get in, life is good. If you never get in because she controls the space for the entire game and you have to take a big risk to get out, that's what happens when you play versus top one, bro. I don't know what to say. But it's got to be top one piloted well, which is hard. And Sella is a down back enjoyer. Okay, that's just kind of how it goes. You just chose not to block. Sometimes I choose not to block as well, but it's not very often. Okay, I'm just gonna point out something to you here, which is that here you are -1, and you press your goaded 9-frame move. Sorry, your goaded 8-frame move and -1. I'm just gonna go to. She's at the end, isn't she? Because she's a guest character. I'm just gonna go to Eltnum on the character select screen. Sorry, I need this to be Eltnum. Just go to Eltnum on the character select screen, and oh, it's 10 frames. Never mind, you're fine. Sometimes it feels faster than that, so I gotta check. Okay, this is a spot where okay, you didn't get counter hit, so I don't think you pressed 5A too late. If you pressed 5A correctly, now admittedly the buffer in this situation for you as the defender is only 2 frames, so you got to practice that shit. But you had meter, so if you did ADP, you get a trade confirm, and life is funny. And ADP also covers point blank backdash. Something to think about post neutral CS versus 5 framers. Versus 6 framers, obviously you just press 5A and life is good. Okay, also something with throw baiting is that your opponent has to be thinking about throw in order for your throw bait to work. And from what I've seen, your opponent does not have a reason to think about throw. So throw baiting when the opponent doesn't think about throw kind of doesn't matter. Okay, now we've thrown a little bit. And we're getting our rebeats checked. Okay, now they have a reason to think about throw. Oh, it was ADP. You love to hate to see it. Oh, that actually clipped the assault. 5B is good. 6B is also good there versus Eltnum 6C. And 6B gives you a stable confirm versus it. Just something to think about. Okay, so we have information that our opponent is a robot who is programmed to see -1 rebeat and press 2C. I'm gonna go back to Eltnum. I'm gonna press 2C. I'm gonna see that this has 13 frames. And when we're Wagner and -1, we can kill 13 frames. So think about that. Oh, your install looked kind of late, actually. I think you were just a little slow on it. Why did you get hit here? Oh, because you got your walk back clipped. Yeah, walking back versus Elton is hard. That's why walk back assault is kind of goated if you think about it. Oh, you got the thing where you want to mash out and you're holding forward and you press B and then you get 6B 5B. I've been there. Oh, we're just not blocking. Got to block a little bit. Now you're dead. Okay, that's fine. That's not the end of the world. This situation, I think you can check with 5A. I have to... Hang on, I need to block. Yeah, Eltonum's -1 here. So you can think about checking with 5A. Oh, interesting. Okay, we've done -1 rebeats, but it's off 6B. So we've also identified that our opponent can check C rebeats with 2C, but cannot check 6B rebeats with 2C. They're gonna fall out. That ender's hard to have them stay in the corner. It's kind of unstable. Oh, you actually threw the 2C. You might be the GOAT. Round start assault against Eltnum. Okay. I need to go back to Wagner. Food for thought. Oh, we're just waking up with throw. Okay, we're in the Wagner zone. Okay, also another thing for you. So you're Wagner and you've won the cycle after you land a throw. +3. This will meaty. Now it won't true meaty, but you are plus. +3. Also, this does not exist if you do this. I don't have sword buff, so I can't CVO. You need sword buff. And I think you got to learn to be confident in your defense. If you don't put yourself in the situation where you block for a while, you don't get better at blocking. What is that neutral jump for? Oh, nice confirm. Oh, you didn't recognize that. I don't know if you know this or not, but normally this doesn't work. I mean, like, you can still get a 5A link, but you don't get a fat confirm. On counter hit, it becomes a good confirm. Okay, this throw bait I liked more because you gave your opponent a reason to think about throw. This is going to be... Was it not? Oh, you didn't have shield buff beforehand. Yeah, so this is still this bad knockdown. That was late active, like into the active frames of gunshot. I think maybe 5 hair just sending a DP there. Oh, you're like me. I would have done the same thing there. It's the dopamine. It feels nice. Okay, let's look at the situation before we backdash. Oh my god, come on. Oh, I love when it's smooth like this. Look at the spacing. The spacing is great. You can check with 6-6C, dash 5B. Life is good. And then we backdash. And now we're in gunshot zone. I have to remind myself, what's the no cancel frame data on this? Oh, the no cancel is 5A punishable, but you get frame trapped. Okay, that makes more sense. I just had to remind myself of the RPS. It's the kind of things that I don't like think about. My hand's just kind of into it because I've played the game for a long time. But that's what's nice about me doing this for you as well, is that it makes me actually think about the decisions that I'm making instead of just having my brain do it. Okay, I'm just gonna go over this because I haven't seen you go through all of the iterations on it. This situation is sick because we get tick throw with 1 frame of delay. If it's installed, you need 2 frames of delay because install is slightly better. So then what do they do if they mash? We frame trap in a 0. I'm pretty sure that also frame traps. I'm pretty sure that was the frame trap in previous versions. Oh, it was the B version, sorry. Just thinking about the layers of the situation afterwards. This is a you got to check this habit. You should die for that situation. I don't even know how negative it is on block, but it's so it should normally be -9 because I have Vorpal here. I think you were far enough away where you don't just die on the spot to Elton and B normals. Um, but it's just a bad it's a bad habit you got to check. Yeah, that is. Did it say punish? That should have been a punish. Oh, Cello was actually late here. Drill on block is -5. I think at that spacing you could have pressed 5B. Maybe not. Oh, this is 6 frames though, isn't it? I think it's 6 frames. Never mind. Your movement like looks very snappy and fluid, uh, but unfortunately, it like actually isn't accomplishing that much because you cede all of your space that you had by backdashing. Oh, standing up on gunshot CS. Are you just gonna gap and throw bait here? Oh no, they're just gonna decide to lose the game on the spot. It happens. Sometimes you send the DP. We've all been there. You like doing stuff. I've noticed. You're definitely a stuff doer. You don't have a ground bounce. Oh, the no 6B is the crack normal. 6B is the crack normal. 6B always have to be. Huge damage. 6B is pure dopamine. There's one button that like I think you actually always need to make sure your hit confirm is good on. It's 6B. You kill here. Oh, you do. Let's go. Okay, cycle. Oh, you missed your install. Oh my god, it did it again. Um. Okay, well, I'm just gonna set this in and go back to the back games because that's what this was mainly for. Okay, so let's see. Oh, let's look for the frame. Let's look for the frame where it all went wrong. You tried to 3C JC. It's hard. It's too hard. They're laughing it off. Oh, but you backdashed and you got chased. I don't want this to just turn into me telling you not to backdash, but you gotta not backdash. Oh, you actually just got gapped here. There's nothing else to say. You just got clean whiff punished. I'm gonna die to a random laser. Nope. Okay, so let's talk about this situation because the situation is gonna come up a lot. This is like up here. That is. Please block. So obviously you can interrupt this, but it's kind of spooky, right? Because she's 0. You can interrupt it kind of late though. But importantly, that is specifically there to kill backdash. Oh, you're gapping? Your confirm was bad. And now it's gem time. Oh, wake up shield. Throw baiting against a flash kick. I'm also just gonna go back to the game to show you this, which is very sad. Which is that is 20 frame startup. This is not 20 frame startup. And you put a throw tech behind it. You should never be allowed to bait flash kick OS like that. Five A. But this Batista does not seem to understand the busted nature of flash kick OS. So you're being allowed to get away with a bunch of things. But I want you to be aware that you are in fact getting away with stuff. And it's okay to know that you're getting away with stuff and still get away with it. Oh my god, you're gonna take 1,000,000,000 damage here. Oh, nice drill. Oh, you should have died. What is with Batista players in this region and not being able to kill? Oh, so you do know. Okay, so you do know. Oh, you even went for the good confirm. Okay, never mind. You are a knower. You're just also pressing 2 and 4C in a bunch of places that are not very good. Why would she throw a fireball there? Something else is like sometimes it feels like you're playing against the opponent that is not sitting in front of you. You're playing against like the opponent in your head that you're trying to be like 2 steps ahead of. And I think it's important to remember that like you actually have to play against the opponent that you're sitting in front of and not your idealized version of what they're going to do. Okay, she's out of air actions. Oh, this was the you're fucked zone. You entered the you're fucked zone and then you left. And now you should have gotten flash kicked because 2C actually recovered in time there for you to get flash kicked. Okay, also if when you watch this, you got to tell this Batista player that that flash kick OS is the holy grail. Flash kick OS is like actually like system mechanic breaking in a lot of ways. And there is no reason for them to not be using it. Okay, another thing. Sorry, I gotta not get myself to change if I do this. If you block the first hit of Beedrill, roll the second one, and Batista just dies on the spot. Yeah, you gotta block a little bit. Okay, nice. Throw? Oh, interesting. You went anti-throw. Oh, you could have died. Not entirely died. Oh, but you're too far away. That's so hard to do. Yeah, that also works there. Actually, that might not have been a punish. You might have been a little bit slow, but that's okay. The thought is good. You challenged Gemset on block. Yeah, honestly, you're just doing too many things. You're playing this matchup too fast. Yeah, you're just playing too fast. You can't play fast in this matchup. You got to play slow. I'm just gonna guess that this third game is you were already tilted from game one, and you're just gonna kind of throw your face into Batista, and hope that she doesn't just like rip your face off in the process. Okay, nice whiff punish. Oh, nasty confirm. Oh, but it's you SMP'd yourself a lot because you already used 66FF as your starter. You had sword install, so you didn't have to CS for that confirm, but I don't mind you CSing for that confirm to keep sword. Keeping sword is important. Okay, but now we're down the cycle. They have correctly identified that 660 kills backdash. Killer? Oh, okay. You're young, so you haven't watched my stream, and I don't stream anymore, so you also wouldn't haven't watched my stream. Um, your procedural punish. Oh my god. What? Is block one hit and then do something? That was nice because the rebeat whiffed and you challenged the rebeat connected instead of whiffing and you challenged it. Yeah, this is the spot where you think you can get there. You think you can get there, but you can't get there. You got to get underneath. You got to get underneath her. It's the only consistent way. Okay, now it's party time. Oh, fake the actual fake double cross up. Uh, this is blocking it on the original side. There isn't actually a cross up here, but it's funny because you switch your block. 5A. Nice. Okay, and you have the important thing versus Flash Kick OS, which is dash forward, do nothing. Wonder you're gonna kill him for it. No, you're not gonna kill him for it because you only spent 100. You hit change shifted and more meter. Okay, but you get the round. You catch up backing Batista. And catching up backing Batista is kind of hard. Your confirms when you get an airborne hit on bat are actually like pretty consistent. Yeah, it's just a lot of you bulldogging your way in a way that is like overextending a little bit more than you need to be. Okay, nice break. Oh, you get thrown. Is it over? Laser. Oh, no dash drill. You just get hit. You just get hit by 2B on +3. Okay, well, I think that should be enough for you to go off of. You have a game plan of things to improve on, and we'll check back in with you in the future.